12 years. 12 years since I made the first Wampler pedal. Back then I was an Indyguitarist. So I've been building pedals, I guess, professionally for a job since 2005 now. So that's like 12 years as of right now. So let's take a look at some of the earliest creations and the masterpieces in air quotes that I created. Let's go. All right, look at this old guy. Oh, that was an old Pinnacle. It actually is not the same Pinnacle as what I have today. Totally different. The closest thing to this would probably be the hot wired now, even though it's not exactly the same. It's still, 40% of the way there, let's say. But that's an old one. I don't even know how old that is. That's probably the 7th or 8th one of these I built. That's another old one too. That is a prototype that I made for Rocket Pedals many years ago. I worked with them on, I forget what it's called now. It's a gold one, I think. A copper colored one. And I think this might have become the Animal or the Blue Note or something like that. That's been several years back though. This vintage OVERDRIVE, I probably sold 20 of these. I didn't sell very many at all. As you can see, it says Indyguitarist. One time that was the company name. And then someone said, that's a squirrely name. You ought to use your last name like Keeley does. So thank you, Robert Keeley. That was a great recommendation. Oh, the Talent Booster prototype. Oh yes. A very simple JFET buffer based pedal. Very simple in schematic. It sounded really good. I think a guy named Paul Morossi actually used to do some work for me. I think he actually made that. Bass Fuzz Proto. That never came to light. No, that's a couple years old now. But I just wasn't very happy with it. Just never really came to light. Oh, here's a super old one. I have no idea why we called it Thingamajig. This is the graphics done by my lovely wife Amanda in 2008, I think. And I have no idea what it sounds like. I know it's an overdrive, but it just wasn't amazing. The Fat X by Big Lloyd. So along the time I was doing the Indyguitarist stuff, a guy named Justin, who went by Big Lloyd, I don't recall why he went by that, but he did. He would tell me build a lot of stuff. And before I thought that I was going to be making guitar pedals, I actually thought I was going to do more like eBay and Amazon type stuff. I was doing a lot of DIY kits. But anyways, so Justin and I created this circuit, and it's basically, I think it's like roughly a tube screamer type of thing, if I recall right. But he put it out under his own brand, and he actually, I think he might even still have a brand. Big Lloyd Pedals. Check him out if you can find it somewhere. Oh, this is something cool. See that? There's a special reason why that says turn on the mic. Several times I would film a podcast. I would film a video, and I would forget to turn on the mic up there. You can't see it, but it's right there. I forgot to turn on the mic, so I spent like half a day doing a video, recording a video. Come to find out, like, either the power wasn't onto it or it wasn't plugged in all the way, so I gotta have a reminder for myself. Let's look at some more pedals. What's this back here? An old Ecstasy Drive. Not even the same thing as the Ecstasy pedal that we came out with later, that then became the Euphoria. Probably have an Ecstasy right there, so you can see. Same thing, different name. I call these the lawsuit versions. Nothing against Reinhold Bogner. Love the guy, good friend, but business is business, and can't use Ecstasy. Call that a business lesson learned. But anyways, yeah, this was a totally different circuit. Don't even remember why I put it into a pedal. call it the Ecstasy Drive, but I don't think I ever sold any of them like that. Oh, here's a special one. The Hairtortion. If you go back in our YouTube videos, you'll see a link to it's an April Fool's Day prank. And set little thing right there. Actually, there's the trick. You pull on one of these strings and the fan pops out. But we made it look in the video like I stepped on it and the fan popped out. But there's a trick. It doesn't do anything. The only thing it does whenever you plug it in, LEDs light up. That's it. Oh, yet another Ecstasy Drive. I was getting very creative. This is a prototype. I assume that's probably a similar circuit. I don't know. But, yeah. And an old faux tape echo. Very old one. Prototype. The modulation that was controlled totally different than the new ones are now. No tap tempo, of course. I don't know when this is. Maybe 09, 08, somewhere in that area. That's an old one. This one wasn't really a pedal I was intending to put out at all. Called it the Amp EQ. Basically what it is, it's a back Sandal EQ with a little bit of saturation, so I can, which basically meant I was giving more signal to a JFET stage. And basically the whole thing I was trying to do is take an amp like, I don't know, this here Hot Rod Deluxe. I would just plug it into the effects loop, and that would give me additional bass and treble frequencies. Kind of a cool trick with those. Sounded good too. That might be a cool little pedal for someone to make and then flip on eBay or something. This Voxy Proto. Huh. So this was going to be, where's it at? It was going to be a 30 something, or as I like to call it, an Ace 30 something. Another venture, by the way, reason for that name change is another legal thing that chalk that up to lesson learned. But anyways, yeah, so that one was a prototype. Just didn't like how it sounded once I got it outside the breadboard. I forgot about this guy. This is actually a Fat Axe as well. Just in an enclosure that same guy, Justin, made out of, he bent the aluminum himself. And actually sounds really good. It sounds really good. This is some sort of distortion of some sort. It never made it into anything. But yeah, that's, what's that say? 2011 Plexi Drive Mark II 511 Proto, which means 511. We made it. What else? Oh, this guy, the ADD prototype. This was prototype I made for a guy named Tony Pasco. I don't know if he went on to start a pedal business or not, but he and I were doing some work together at one time. This was the prototype I did for him. You see this Plextortion? Let me get this out of the way. That Plextortion. That Plextortion. Got the Super Plextortion. You have this Plextortion. Got the Superplex there. Another Plextortion. See all those Plextortions? This is another lesson I learned in business. Don't change your product all the time because it causes a lot of confusion. A lot. So even though like the basic engine is the same in all these, they're all completely different, even though they have the same name. So yeah, if you're starting a pedal business, don't make that mistake. Oh, wait. Another Plextortion. Awesome. This here is a reverb. A spin-based reverb. We made several years ago. When was that? 2013, looks like. And that actually is getting ready to come out. Well, yeah. The reverb will be out at some point. Well, not exactly like it, but similar to it. Based off the same type of thing. This reverb engine became part of the new Ethereal coming out shortly. Yeah, that's the prototype for that 4 years ago. Here's something that I don't see every day. The Indyguitarist multi-drive had a blue fuzz and a Pinnacle. Now I have the blue fuzz prototype here somewhere. There it is. There it is, the blue fuzz. Yep, that was, I think that was my first fuzz. If not, it was close. This one might have been my first fuzz, this sputter fuzz. This was actually used by John Steingard of Hawk Nelson many years ago. Made that for him. Anyways, blue fuzz. Yeah, that guy never took off. Really liked it though. Part of this, let's say 40% of it became the velvet fuzz. But anyways, this multi-drive, as you can see, I wasn't very good at naming things back then. That's why I generally don't name things anymore. And I also don't do the graphics, because that's what it looks like whenever Brian does the graphics. Very basic, not so good. So not my strong suit. And down here, of course, got the blue fuzz back. That's another blue fuzz. This is a different fuzz prototype. Another fuzz prototype. These are all velvet fuzz prototypes. These three purple ones are right there. If I can get that guy to stand up. All different prototypes for the velvet fuzz. T5 fuzz, sputter fuzz, all different types of things. Of course, there's the velvet right there. This is the prototype for the Leviathan. This being the Leviathan. I actually really like that fuzz. If you like really gnarly stuff, I thought that was a great pedal. Didn't take off very well though. This guy, I'm working on this one for a new fuzz soon. Yeah, working on it. I think it's going to be a great one. That's going to be a very cool one. You can see how the Pinnacle's changed quite a bit over the years. Oh yes, that's right. I forgot all about this guy. This is the prototype for the Pinnacle. As ugly as that thing is. Isn't that crazy? So, but the funny part is something you got to see. All right, so let's look inside this guy. This is why I don't like to sell any of our prototypes. As you can see, it's very, well, it's a mess. Let's just be honest here. Wires going everywhere, things kind of glued together and taped together, and yeah. That's not how the production version looks, but that is how the prototype can look many times just after, you know, trying to do it over and over, trying to get it right. So hopefully this video maybe entertained you, maybe showed you a little bit of insight into the beginnings of Wampler. I do ask one question. If you do like this video, if you like any of our videos, please consider sharing it with a friend that might like it as well. It would mean a lot to me. I put these videos out for you guys. As you see, I rarely sell anything on a Wampler Pedals channel, which is, gotta admit, it's kind of odd for a company to do, right? But I do it because it's fun. I do it because you guys ask me a lot of questions, and I like to answer them. I enjoy it. So, see you in a couple days. Again, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you comment below. We'll see you in a few days.